Hi, everyone. It's Jen Robinson. I thought I'd give you a little background on a workshop that I created for the Summer Institute in Digital Literacy, and it's called Inspire Digital Citizens and Leaders. Here's some background. First of all, I started with thinking about the Children's Internet Protection Act and how in schools we're required to teach digital citizenship so that we can get our E-rate funding. And yes, we do need some money in schools, so we have to think about that sometimes. But I want to think about how we can make it a meaningful experience for our students as well. So yes, we're complying, we're doing it in a way to help our students have meaningful experiences that will affect their thinking for the rest of their lives. This is one resource that I use for digital citizenship, and it's called FBI Safe Online Surfing. It's really just kind of that base of the pyramid of safety. So students start with learning about safety, but there's so much more to it to make them into digital citizens and then digital leaders. Another resource I think about is Common Sense Education. I've used this with my students as well. It's got a great curriculum for teachers, and it's got many steps that you can use when you're thinking about different facets of digital citizenship. And then I went on to the ISTE site just to see if there were some new, fresh ideas as well. And this is from February 2020, including blog posts and other resources online that you could use to teach digital citizenship with your students. Then I started thinking about my friend Renee Hobbs, who wrote this fabulous book, Create to Learn. This is how we can transform our students from consumers of information to creators of information. So this is a great book to inspire you when you're working with your students and helping them to become lifelong learners and creators of information. Then we talked about how we can analyze resources using the media literacy smartphone. I'm holding an older version. The one that's online is a little newer, but it has questions and thoughtful ideas about how you can discuss media literacy and really think about who's the author, what is the purpose, what techniques are used to attract and hold your attention, and so forth. So this makes you a critical analyzer of media. From there, I thought, well, we also need to make them ethical users of information when they're creating their own works. So this book by also by Renee Hobbs, Copyright Clarity. This is a concise volume that really gives you an idea of how you can empower yourself by using fair use law to use all kinds of resources in your teaching and with your students, and how also they can use them when they're creating their own resources. And I used this website from the Media Education Lab, which has resources about copyright, including the book, as well as some videos from Michael Rob Greco, who is also a fabulous staff member at the Summer Institute of Digital Literacy. This is one of the videos called Copyright, What's Copyright? And this is another called Copyright Education User Rights, Section 107 music video. And this is a collaboration with Michael Rob Greco and Renee Hobbs. And these two videos are fun, animated, musical, presentations of the idea of copyright in a way that students can digest and understand and be entertained by. So it's a fun way to present the thoughts of copyright. And then I talked to my friend Joyce Valenza and I said, Joyce, I want to move my students from just digesting information on safety and citizenship, and I want to move them into being creators. And so she said, you know what? How about if you look at some of the resources that I have on my Wakelet, and her Wakelet has many, many, many resources that she's curated as a librarian extraordinaire for many years in the K-12 environment and now working at Rutgers. This is one of her curations, Learning and Schooling, and it's called Teaching Strategies, Conversation Protocols, and Other Inspirations Mood Board. From there, I gathered lots of ideas of ways that we could learn and teach together. One of those that she mentioned was this resource about civic online reasoning. This is another thing that I could look at to find information about curriculum. And then another is George Couros, who talked about digital leadership, and how it could be defined, and turning students from digital citizens into digital leaders. From there, we really move forward to create this workshop. So at the very end, I thought I need to embrace the ideas of Julie Coiro and her colleagues, Elizabeth Dobler and Karen Pelekis. And I've got this book right here, Curiosity to Deep Learning, From Curiosity to Deep Learning. And it's about personal digital inquiry. So I developed a personal digital inquiry question of my own. And I said, how can I transform this unit of study from digital citizenship to digital leadership? And that's where I left off. That was the inspiration for my workshop. I hope you'll attend. Have a great day.